Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm hearing voices. Ooh. So, what are we here to talk about today? Well, I've mentioned this stuff on the blog, and I figured it was time to talk about it here on the vid, but I've got some further thoughts on the matter too. So, this is the article that Kickstarter recently put up on their site when you log into Kickstarter. Supply chain disruptions are affecting Kickstarter projects. Here's what to know. And before somebody starts going off this, hey, it's all a PR piece. Well, you know what? They are scared, but I'll delve into that in a second. It's a good bet you've already heard of at least a little bit about the supply chain issues that are making it hard to access certain kinds of products and materials. We've probably heard of another toilet paper shortage on the horizon, and causing delays in manufacturing and shipping all around the world, created by a confluence of factors including pandemic-related changes to consumer demand, worker shortages, and the ripple effects of COVID on a globally interconnected economy. The great supply chain disruption has become an emblem of the increasing unpredictability of the modern world. All right. Let me address a few elephants that might be standing in the room for certain people. Some people dislike Kickstarter as a business model. And I've seen the comments already on Facebook based upon the blog posts that are basically go, F Kickstarter. If this kills Kickstarter, great. Who needs them? Well, you know what? Even if you are a consumer, a gamer that does not use Kickstarter, Kickstarter brings products to the table that you wouldn't get otherwise. Brings them to retail. You don't have to be somebody who backs Kickstarters. The vast majority of people don't, all right? But these products get made, they get distributed, they get published at numbers that allow them to be viable for the company involved, because Kickstarter allows them to see what the market is, right? Even large companies, or at least large-ish in our industry. People bitch and complain again. I'm not going to name anybody, but I'll name some companies. Oh, why does Goodman, why does Frog God, why does Trollord need to use Kickstarter? They're big enough. They can fund these products without a Kickstarter. Sure, they could. Definitely they could. And they will not do what you want them, or you're so excited about. They're not going to be as large or as art-filled or as squeaky. Why? Because here's the thing. If I know that I have 3,000 buyers for my latest box set by pre-order, people who've already ordered it on Kickstarter, then I can say, all right. And again, I'm throwing numbers out there. I have no secret knowledge. Well, if we have pre-orders for 3,000, then the aftermarket might be 2,000. So we can order 5,000. We're not going to get screwed, and we're not going to be out of pocket, right? If you don't have those numbers, you don't know, right? That's the biggest thing that Kickstarter does. Kickstarter also gives a mailing list so people can be notified when new products are being released by publishers or distributors that they enjoy the products of creators. So people forget that. That is the engine that keeps a lot of this growing hobby economy going. And they call it a hobby economy because unless you're Wizards of the Coast or maybe Paizo, it's a hobby. Even for those that have employees that are making full-time wages on this, it isn't world-shaking numbers. So now part of this is also the economy of size, right? The more of an item that you're going to produce, the less each item costs. So if you can balance that out, right, you can increase your profits and you can ensure that you're more likely to produce more stuff later. Now, here's the issue of what's going on here. And it's not just affecting Kickstarter, right? Wizards of the Coast announced that they have titles that are going to be delayed. Why are they going to be delayed? Because they're coming from China. Now, this is a full, personally printed items, especially full color books. They're almost cost prohibitive to produce in the United States. Okay, so they publish through printing companies in China, and they ship it to the States. Um, I don't have the article in front of me. There I go. Poor, poor planning. But basically, the cost of a shipping container, like what you would pay for your piece of a shipping container to get things shipped from China, pre-pandemic, you were looking a couple of thousand. Now you're looking 10, 15, maybe more if you want it expedited. When I say expedited, it means you want it that on time frame that was similar to the time frame you were looking at before to get things shipped. So we used to bitch and complain as consumers, as creators, as publishers, that as projects went long in the tooth, shipping costs would change, right? Within the United States or shipping out of the States. And it's like, the cost that, oh my God, like Far West assumed 10 years ago is going to be so far out of the ballpark because of these changes. Well, these shipping change costs in the last year and a half are huge, and they're going to impact. And they're impacting profit margins as we talk. Remember, these publishers, these game publishers, are not working on huge profit margins. Anybody who thinks that they are, maybe with the exception of Wizards, because again, they have that scale, you're fooling yourself. So, why is Kickstarter putting out this article? And why is it timed almost the same timing with Wizards of the Coast? Well, Rob Conley, our special guest on Friday night's live stream this past week, playing the role of Greg Christopher. Well, Rob reached out to me and he pointed out that part of what's happening is that because of the pandemic's initial slowdown of shipping, now there's been an increase of things being shipped or attempted to be shipped out of China. So it's literally backing up at the ports. They can't unload this fast enough. So we're looking for more stuff from China now. Maybe some of that's pandemic panic buying. I don't know, but they can't unload these ships fast enough. Now you could say, well, they can't unload them fast enough because there's too many of them coming in. But you can also throw in a factor, which they mention here, is probably less people unloading those ships. All right. We have a lot of people that are currently unemployed for one reason or another because of issues related to the pandemic, and whether they were downsized and laid off or whether they are now unable to work because they're not vaccinated and they're hit with the vaccine mandate. You've got an issue with getting these ships unloaded, and you're going to see an issue with getting these products shipped out within the country. Now, that's probably going to be less impactful, but it's something that's there in any case. So, if you are somebody who has backed Kickstarter projects, expect them to run long if they are books that were printed in China. Now, I've spoken to medium publishers, and they both are looking to source their future printing locally within the States. It takes out that random factor, but what does that also do? It increases cost. But if your shipping cost from China has increased exponentially, if your cost before was, I don't know, 4,000 to ship it, and now it's 16,000 to ship it. Again, we're talking large quantities, or fractions thereof. But if your cost has gone up 4 times, maybe it isn't as cost prohibitive to use publishers' physical printing sources, within the US or within Canada or within whatever country you're publishing in. I mean, I know Raggy uses Finland, right? He publishes locally, high quality. Maybe we will see that. What does that mean going forward? Is China pricing itself out of the market by this increase in shipping costs? will that be a boon to the U.S. Economy when it comes to printing? Or is it only going to be a drop in the bucket, and long term things are going to slot back? One thing I've noticed in my lifetime is that when prices go up, they can often go back down, but they really go back down to the price where they were initially settled at. So I don't expect shipping costs to go down to the numbers that they were prior to the pandemic. So there'll be that increase. Now, why is Kickstarter putting a whole huge article up on this? Well, I think it's many pieces. Their bread and butter is obviously people running projects on Kickstarter. If people stop running projects on Kickstarter because of the economy, Kickstarter loses money, number one. If people back projects on Kickstarter and they aren't fulfilling in the time frame they expected them to be filled in, remember, Kickstarter puts up that disclaimer that you're not buying something, that you are backing an idea. Screw that. People are going to do chargebacks on their credit cards. What does that mean? It means Kickstarter's going to lose money. Also, potential backers, are going to be gun shy. You might say to yourself, I don't know if I want to back this project. So I'm going to guess if you're an RPG producer and you're using Kickstarter and you say something printed and shipped from within the US, you're going to do a lot better. Pound for pound, penny for penny, same product coming from China, same product coming from the US. The US is going to raise more money for that project because people are going to go, oh, good, I don't have to worry about something getting shipped from China. But what if the price is different, right? What if the US version was going to be, I don't know, 55 as opposed to 45 from the Chinese produced version, printed and shipped? It's going to be an interesting time as this all shakes out. If you're a publisher, I'd love to get your feedback. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this whole issue. And it's not something that's new, but I think it's something that they thought was going to be resolved by now, and it's not. And now they are getting a little panicky that people aren't going to appreciate the delays that are going on, and people are going to bitch and complain. When people bitch and complain, you lose business. They're trying to preempt that. I don't think they will fully, but I think it's a great opportunity for U.S. printers to step up. But again, I'd love to get your feedback. You can leave a voicemail, 347-509-5168. You can leave a comment. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd like to hear what everybody is thinking about this. And somebody's going to go, oh, well, it's been going on for a year and a half. Sure it has, but now they're getting worried. Now they're getting worried. Why is that? Folks, as always, again, we've mentioned it, right? The pandemic. We're in the world of the pandemic. Please take actions to keep yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones healthy and safe. Be safe. Be well. God bless. Roll those dice. And God willing, I will talk with you all again tomorrow. My gosh. All right, folks.